lovely people, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to reach you here on my channel. Thank you so much for your support here on this channel. On today's tutorial, we are going to be making an fitted halter neck dress. This is what we are going to be making today. Like my video, share with your family and friends, and then hit the notification bell to get you an update as I will be uploading my new videos. Okay guys, I will be taking the back measurement from here. I have 16 inches for the back measurement, and I will be adding some inches, like 2 inches, because of the neckline we are going to be using. Okay, so this is my 8 inches and I'm adding 2 inches. Okay, you can add more than that, but 2 inches is fine. Okay, so after this, what I'm going to do is to just mark the armhole line. So I'm going to mark 8 inches because I don't want my armhole to be revealing. You know, this is sleeveless, so you could go lower than that, could do 9 inches or whatever you want to use for yours, but 8 inches is good for today's tutorial. So this is what I want to use. So I'm marking 8 inches for my armhole. Okay, so 8 inches is good for my armhole. You can use 9 inches, you could use 8.5, depending on your preference. Okay, so this is what I'm marking here. So I want to cut that part because I want that part to be straight. Okay, so having done this, I'm going to measure the half length, which is 16 inches. So I have 16 inches for the half length. I'm marking 16 inches. At that point, I'm marking 16 inches. Okay, so 16 inches is the half length. I'm marking it, and I'm going to connect it. The marking is not really showing. I'm sorry, it's texture of the material we are using. So from this 16 inches, which is my half length, I'm going to get the hip point, which is 8 inches. So this is what I'm marking here. Marking 8 inches. So, okay, 38 inches is the full length of this dress we are making. So here I'm placing the quarter of the waist measurement on the half length. You know, I measured 16 inches from the shoulder. So that line is my half length. So that line is my waistline, sorry. So 32 inches divided into 4 is giving me 8 inches, and I added 1 inch for joining allowance. So here is the bust line. I have 37 inches divided into 4 is going to give me 9.25. That's 9 1/4. And then I'm going to add 1 inch for joining allowance. So this is what I'm marking here. So on my hip point, I have 44 inches for the hip. Divided into 4 is giving me 11 inches. So I'm placing 11 inches, and then I want to add 1 inch for joining allowance, as I've added to waistline and the bust line. So this is what I'm marking here. And then I'm going to transfer this marking to the length of the dress we are making. So this is from waist to the hip and from hip to the length. So I'm joining the bust to the waist right here, to the hip and to the length of the dress we are making. Okay, so this is what I'm doing here. Okay. Now I will be cutting back panel. So I place front panel on the remaining fabric to cut the back panel. So I'll be cutting the same shape with front panel right here. So guys, this is what I have for both front and back panel of turtleneck we are making, turtleneck dress we are making. So I told you this neck is going to be a straight shape. Okay. So I'm going to gather that side to my desired neck measurement. So I'm going to gather that side to my desired neck measurement. Now I want to cut the collar. So I chose 2.5 for the wideness of the collar, and then 15 inches is the length of the collar. So how do you determine the length of your collar? So this is what you are going to do. Place your tape measure round your neck, measure the round of your neck. So this is going to give you whatever you want to use for the collar. Mine is 15 inches. The length of the collar I'm going to use is 15 inches, and I'm going to add 1 inch for joining allowance, making 16 inches. So that shows I'll be cutting 16 inches. Okay, so 2.5 is the wideness. This 2.5 is okay for me. Okay, so that shows I'll be cutting 16 inches by 2.5. So this is what I'll be cutting for the collar I want to use for today's tutorial. So whatever you are getting in your own case, place your tape measure on and measure your neck, the round of your neck, and then add your joining allowance to it. Okay, and your desired width, that is the wideness. Okay, mine is 2.5, so I chose 2.5 for the wideness of my neck, for the wideness of the collar, and 16 inches is the length plus 1 inch, making 17 inches for joining allowance. So this is what I'm marking here. So I'm marking 16 inches here. So this is 8 inches. It's on fold, so I want to cut it on fold. So I'm marking 8 inches. So joining allowance is included. And then I'm marking on the point of 2.5. Like I said, I'll be marking 2.5. So I'll use 0.5 to join the collar to the dress we are making, and 2 inches is good for my collar. So this is what I'm doing here, and I will go ahead and cut right here. So after marking, I'm going to cut it. So I'm marking because I want to have a straight shape. So I'm cutting on what I marked. Okay, 16 inches by 2.5. So this is what I'm cutting right here. So I'm through with cutting. So this is what I have. So I'm going to fold it that way. Okay, so I'm going to join it to the dress. Okay, so this is back panel. So it's going to have slits at the upper part of the back panel, that is the neck area. So it's going to have button or hook at that point. So I've already cut it. So that's the back. I added my joining allowance to it. So this one is front panel. So this front panel right here. So what I'm going to do is to just locate the center front this way. I'm placing it very well and locate the center front. So what I'm going to do is to just take 0.5 for the length of the, you are going to determine the length of the hole. You know, it's going to have like keyhole there. So you are going to determine the length you want to use for this hole and the width. So the wideness I'm using is 1 inch and the 4 inches is good for the length. And then I'm going to connect this 1 inch to the 4 inches. Okay, so this is what I'm marking right here, and it's going to come out like an oval shape. So I'm going to cut this way. So it's going to come out like oval shape. Okay. So this is it. So I will use my bias to join that part. Okay. So I will just sew it like that. So this is what I'm going to do before I place the collar. So I will do that part before I place the collar. Okay. Alright guys, so these are back panel. So I want to join the back panel. You know, I cut back panel into two because it's going to have slits at the neck area, that side. So I'm measuring 4 inches. So on that point, I'm going to stop joining from the lower part because it's going to have slits. It's not going to have zip. So it's going to have button at that point. So this is front panel right here. So I told you I'm going to pipe that hole. Okay. So this is what I will be doing to the front panel. I will pipe that side, and then I will do the ruffle at the neck part, and we are good to go. Okay. Okay, this is the front panel. So the back measurement we are working with is 16 inches, like I said. Okay. So I added some inches because of type of neck we are using. You know, this is an halter neck, so we have to gather that side. Okay, so that's why I added 2 inches to it. Okay, so I'm going to gather this side, this place, this side. I'm going to gather this side like so, and the other side as well as the back panel. So this is the front panel, so I will gather the two. Alright guys, I used my machine to gather the neck. Okay, so and then I joined the two backs together. You know, I cut the back into two because it's going to have slits at the neck part. So I'm placing front panel on the back panel. So this is the hammer. So I'm placing front panel on the back panel. So this is how I'm going to sew it. Okay, so I will use my bias to turn that part before I add the collar. Sorry. Okay, now I want to do the side seam. So here I have 16 inches for the back measurement. So this is my normal back measurement. Okay, you know, I've gathered the SS. So the bust measurement is 37 inches. So I'm going to This is 18.5, and the remaining allowance I'm going to share it into the both sides. And the waist measurement is 32 inches. So 32 inches is going to give me 16 inches, and I'm going to share the remaining allowance to the both sides as well. Okay, so this is my hip point. So the hip measurement is 44 inches. Okay, so 44 inches divided into 2 is going to give me 22 inches, and here I have like about 25 inches, and I'm going to share the remaining to the both sides. So this is what I want to do, and I will come and show you. So this is the front panel. So I use the bias to pipe that side. Okay, so this is the collar I want to use. So I have 16 inches for this collar. Okay, so 16 inches, 15 inches is my the length of my neck. I added 1 inch for joining allowance. Okay, so guys, I want to place it this way. So this is how you are going to place it. I hope you saw this. So that's my hammer. I don't want my hammer to my armor to be revealing. Okay, so that's why I did it this way. If you want revealing on, we'll go lower than mine. So far so good. We have come to the end of today's tutorial on our halter neck fitted dress. I hope you like this dress. So this is very simple to make. Like I said, it's simple to make. Okay, this is very nice. It's very perfect. If you want revealing armor, you could shift a bit. So okay, so this is good by me. This is very simple to make. It's very simple to cut and sew. I hope you are going to make yours. Oh my God, this is very perfect. So this is the back. I added the hooker nice. Please like this video, share with your family and friends, and then subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Turn on the notification bell to get you an update. Thank you for watching. Bye.